So what is social emotional learning? So in a nutshell, social emotional learning, also known as SEL, is the process of attaining and applying the knowledge, attitudes, and skills necessary to understand and manage emotions, set and achieve positive goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain positive relationships, and make responsible decisions. The wheel you see on the left is taken from CASTLE, which is the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning. So the wheel describes 5 main competencies of SEL, as well as the environments and mechanisms needed to successfully support SEL. So there are 5 main SEL competencies: self-management, self-awareness, responsible decision-making, relationship skills, and social awareness. What we see here on each of the boxes are the skills required to develop each competency. So for example, the skills that support social awareness include empathy, being able to understand different perspectives and worldviews, respecting diversity, and understanding social norms. So essential to achieving social awareness are those kinds of skill sets. And in order for children and youth to develop that competency, they need to learn those specific skills. So by the same way, if we look at relationship skills, in order to support children in gaining that competency, they need to learn communication and collaboration skills. They need to know how to resolve conflicts and ask for help when needed. And the same is true for the other competencies. And those, again, are listed for you. Feel free to visit them later. So SEL skills and competencies are developed over long periods of time. They can be taught in school and after school. While the slide speaks to the benefits of tapping into the adolescent brain, SEL is essential in both early years and middle years development as well. So SEL is essential for the positive development of children and youth. It builds resiliency, it provides young people with the ability to manage their emotions, and it drives them towards positive choices. Basically, SEL allows young people to become self-aware and know that they need to be in a positive and supportive environment in order to thrive, and know that when they're not in such an environment, to leave. And there's a lot of evidence that links SEL to positive outcomes related to academic performance, education, to earning a higher income and employment later on in life, to having better health and better engagement with communities as well. And there's a list of different benefits of social emotional learning, and these have all been proven with evidence that it actually leads to those things listed there. At the same time, SEL has also proven to provide an $11 return for every dollar invested in SEL programming. And that's quite high. And more companies are also hiring for social emotional skills. There's even being developed artificial intelligence platforms that would suss out those specific skill sets, especially as we're moving towards the fourth industrial revolution, where we're going to have a lot of artificial intelligence. Those skill sets are becoming more and more important, not just for life for young people today, but for future employment and for the economic benefit of our community. So we all have roles to play in supporting the development of children and youth. Communities can play a really active role in facilitating this happening. We know that schools are a really important environment, but just as important are communities, families, and homes. And the Aspen Institute has released a publication that really highlights where and when learning can happen and how communities can support that. So here are 4 main ways they identified. The first being supporting really communities to see the value and the vision for social emotional learning. Secondly, ensuring that there's access to data and that data is transparent. For instance, in Ontario, we have the Early Years Development Instrument, which really measures the readiness of children under 6, and they measure different domains, including social emotional learning. And we know that in the 2013 data, that children are more vulnerable in social emotional maturity domains today than they were 10 years ago. So data like this can really help communities plan and move forward and think about how to better support social emotional development. The third way is ensuring high quality and year-round programming. This would really help ensure that learning is sustained, that it's developed, and that there's an ongoing platform for young people to continue developing those skills. And lastly, they mention the need to really think about how to leverage and generate resources that can realize the community's vision for social emotional learning.